Meanwhile, the crowd spares no judgment for Maiapetti. Everyone in the stands. Boo! Boo! Shame on you, Maiapetti. Tim Brodie is lifted and carried off the field amid applause and gasps. The crowd is anxious, incredulous. Referee Gambetti immediately shows the red card to Maiapetti. Straight red, serious foul. And now, incredible, the referee points to the penalty spot. Penalty for Nasal. The small gym erupts in a roar of hope. A tie is possible, everything can change. The weather goalkeeper, Tough Apprendi, positions himself on the line, eyes fixed on the ball. The Nasal players look at each other, who will take this decisive penalty. Meanwhile, on the field, the scientists discuss who should kick the penalty. Ravioli. Benani, do you want to take the shot? Benani. Yes, I'll go right away. Igor. It's about kicking the ball, not the air, remember. Ravioli. On second thought, maybe Papaya should do it. Igor. Okay, just remind him not to pass the ball to the goalkeeper. Ravioli. Well, definitely not me. I've never kicked a ball in my life. Papaya. Then. Everyone turns to Igor. Igor. Me. No, no. Me. Absolutely not. Papaya. There's no one else left. Igor. Why don't we call the boss to do it? Benani. I'd even call the ticket collector to take the shot, but rules are rules. Igor. Fine. Then I'll do it. What could happen if I miss? It's not like it's the end of the world, right? Suddenly, the sky darkens. Everyone looks up. In the sky, a gigantic fireball appears. A massive asteroid is about to crash into the Earth. Igor. Or is it? Ravioli. What is that? Silence. Everyone frozen, staring at the sky. The asteroid approaches. Igor. Remember that time you tried the Mexican restaurant? Papaya. Is it really what I think it is? Benani. If that thing hits land, we're doomed. If it hits the sea, we'll have a new ice age. Igor. At least we won't be the ones losing our jobs. Benani. And why's that? Igor. Well, for the next 100 years, the forecast will be intense cold. Bye-bye, weather forecasts. Bye-bye, meteorologists. 3 days later. The sky is gray, the air freezing. Snow covers everything. The 4 scientists decide to take refuge at Nasal, together with their families, shivering but alive. Papaya. There's nothing left out there, at least here we have a roof. Benani. Yes, but the generator power won't last forever. Ravioli. And neither will the supplies, since I've already eaten half of them. A few days later. Nasal is immersed in icy silence. The generator stops. Lights go out. Computers silent. Papaya. The power, it's gone. Benani. And the supplies, they're running out fast. Ravioli wanders around, eyes fixed on the provisions. Papaya sighs. Benani grabs a rope. Igor watches, sarcastic, folding his arms. Papaya. We can't let him eat everything. Within minutes, Ravioli is imprisoned in the basement, among empty boxes and old scientific equipment. Ravioli. Hey. But. I didn't do anything. Benani. It's not about blame. It's about survival. Igor, looking at Ravioli sitting on the floor, mutters. If Nasal's future depended on his stomach, I'd say we're officially doomed. Nasal is immersed in freezing cold. The generator is off, supplies are running low, and Ravioli is imprisoned in the basement. Everyone sits in silence, speechless, unable to think. Papaya. We don't know what to do anymore. He stands up, rummages through the storage room, and finds a sack of space coal. Papaya. But, where did all this coal come from? Banani. Ah. That. Remember the meteor shower a few years ago? Some pieces contained energy-rich coal. We collected them and stored them in the warehouse, and then forgot about them. Now, with this cold, there are makeshift heating. Papaya. Ah, yes. Now I remember. One meteor even punctured my garden shed. Banani. Space coal, huh? Perfect. I have an idea. In no time, he transforms the main telescope into a gigantic fireplace. They connect it to the lab with improvised pipes and duct tape. Papaya. Will it really work? Banani. It will, for a while. The fire catches immediately, but the coal supplies are running out quickly. Papaya. This is fine, but it's only a temporary solution. Banani. We need to find something else to burn. Meanwhile, from the basement comes a frantic pounding at the door. Ravioli. Open up. It's too cold down here. Papaya. We need to get him out of there. Banani. Yes, but the supplies? Papaya. We'll create shifts to keep an eye on him. Banani. We could also put someone on guard at the cafeteria. Igor. Why do I have the feeling that it'll be me? Banani. Perfect. We have a volunteer. Igor. Hey, wait. I was just joking. Papaya. Well, now you're officially our sheriff. Igor. An unarmed sheriff. How am I supposed to stop Ravioli when he attacks like a hungry bear? Surely not with sharp-witted remarks. Papaya. We'll figure that out later. For now, we need to free that poor guy. While they talk, Ravioli keeps pounding on the door. But in his desperation, he loses his balance and falls backward down the basement stairs. On the other side, a dull thud is followed by the crash of boxes and breaking objects. Banani. What happened? Papaya. Did he get hurt? Igor opens the door. Ravioli enters the room, battered and bruised. Ravioli. Look what I found. He shows them a small colorful piece of paper. Banani. And, what's that? Banani takes the paper, but it's covered in childish drawings of pirates, maps, and treasures. Papaya. Come on. That's a kid's sheet. Ravioli. No. Don't you get it? It's a treasure map. Igor. Yes, and maybe the treasure is a snack with burgers and fries. Look at this. Igor points to the logo. It's that of a famous fast food chain. Banani. Ah, now I remember. That's the surprise that came with the happy snack meal. Papaya. That's right. Look, there's even a coloring maze. My kids loved it. But now they're too old for this stuff. Igor. Maybe it's too childish for your kids, but not for Ravioli. At least we can give him something to color and distract his stomach. Ravioli. Don't you get it? See this map? There's an urban legend on the internet that says if you interpret the map correctly and follow it properly, it leads to a real treasure. Papaya shakes his head, smiling a little. Papaya. If we survive the cold, we'll see who can follow a pirate map better than Ravioli. But while they talk, the technician arrives. Or at least, the former nasal technician. Technician. Excuse me, Professor, but the space coal is running out. We need to find something else to burn. Banani. Hey, I have an idea. Here at Nasal we're literally buried in paperwork. Quarterly reports, inventories, data sheets, material requests. We could use them as fuel. Papaya. Great idea, Banani. Let's do it right away. They head to the archive. But in front of the door, they find Tim Brody. Tim Brody. Where do you think you're going? Papaya. Accountant, the archives. They're our last hope. Tim Brody. And what exactly do you want to do with the archives, huh? Banani. Burn them, of course. To keep warm and survive. Tim Brody. Survive, huh? Do you know how long it took me to catalog all these documents? Papaya. Yes, Tim Brody, I know this has been your life for years, but now we're in an emergency. This is the only way we can survive. Tim Brody. Ah, you dare to speak of fire, and ignore the soul of my records. Every file, every protocol, every observation form is bound by internal rules and the unwritten laws of astronomy. If even a single sheet were taken from its archival destiny, the boss furrows his brow, sighs. It would compromise administrative continuity, and with it the integrity of data collected over years of sleepless starry nights. I declare, under the authority of historical memory and internal procedures updated to 2024, that their destruction would constitute serious harm to scientific stability and managerial responsibility. Alas, if fire touches these documents, it will not burn just paper, but the very conscience of nasal, the dignity of protocols, and the tragic harmony of the skies we observe. Igor. Grab him. 2 security guards seize Tim Brody by the arms. Tim Brody. Stop. Halt. You're violating procedures, protocols, internal regulations. Guard 1. Relax, come with us. But Tim Brody struggles with a sudden move, freeing himself from the guard's grip and leaving them momentarily disoriented. He unbuttons his shirt collar and flips his accountant cap backward. Tim Brody. You cannot stop me from defending document integrity. The guards rush toward him, but with a leap, he sidesteps and makes them crash into a pile of files. Tim Brody. Twirling his hands in a martial arts style. Strike of the post-dated stamp. Tim Brody hurls a heavy file, hitting one of the guards, who falls to the ground stunned. The other guard grabs him again by the wrist. Tim Brody. Rotating protocol strike. With an agile twist of his hand, Tim Brody breaks free. He spins, grabs a ledger, and strikes the guard on the back of the neck. The guard collapses to the floor, KO. Banani. I can't believe it, he's winning against 2 guards. Igor. Nothing is deadlier than a bureaucrat. True superheroes don't wear capes, they wield ledgers and forms. At this point, the other colleagues arrive, ready to help. Colleague 1. We can't let him win. Colleague 2. Come on, everyone together. The group surrounds Tim Brody. The man fights like a furious bear, shouting out new moves. Triple copy file push. Strike of eternal stamping. Tim Brody manages to hurl some colleagues against the wall. But at a certain point, the group gains the upper hand, pushing him to the back of the room. Igor, meanwhile, stays on the sidelines at a safe distance, watching the others struggle in the fight. Igor. The real winning move? Let them fight. I prefer to take notes for posterity, especially the jokes. Papaya. Igor. Grab the files. Igor stays still. Igor. Sorry, I'm allergic to dust, and to fights between scientists. Tim Brody, panting and defeated, mutters. Tim Brody. Ah, document integrity, violated, but not for long. Finally, they manage to restrain him and take him out of the room. Ravioli. Thanks, Igor, huh? Igor. Thanks to you, Ravioli. You know how it is, if I get hurt, who will tell your failures to posterity? That would be a grave loss for the history of humor.